He's a pure savage.
Yeah, he don't care about
nothing. He's a pure savage.
Yeah.
And that's also why he was so good at fighting, man. In the middle of the Jose Aldo fight, I remember looking in his eyes and watching how calm, like genuinely calm he was. I'm like, this guy just, and Dana said it best. He's like, he eats pressure. He just eats it. He likes it. He wants it to be chaos. It's got guys say that, but they don't really.
Right. It is interesting that in the time where that low calf kick is coming to prominence, and this is also the time when Conor started moving away from the sport, took time off, fought boxing, then came back and had the fight with Khabib, and then came back and had the fight with Cowboy. The calf kick was never in play in any of his fights. But if you look at him stylistically, and this is one of the things, I love DC's detail that he does on ESPN. It's amazing. But when he broke down Conor's heavy weight on the right leg, he leans in like this all the time. It's such a big weapon.
And sometimes he, like you said, that wide stance as well. Mm-hmm. It's just hard to check the kick from that wide stance.
Yeah. Well, it's a crazy stance for everything other than calf kicks. It's a great stance. Yeah. I mean, he's so good at moving in and covering distance with that stance.
As of right here, right now, Gaethje McGregor is still on the table. And I think that should be pulled. I do not believe that Conor should walk into a title fight, but moreover, I will tell you, and Conor will too, he's not going to 155. Now, the promotion does not yet have that through their head. They are still pushing for Conor and 155. This is all extremely accurate information. So, I think there's a lot of options for McGregor. I really think that if it's not him versus Chandler, it should be. We really should look at that. We fans were promised a certain fight. We fans have been pretty damn patient.
You can't say those things. Chael Sonnen revealed, dropping a bombshell. He exposed alleged backroom deals for Justin Gaethje. Sonnen implied a fight with McGregor was almost a gift. A planned loss to Paddy Pimblett, then a weight class bump on his way out. This chilling peek behind the White House card suggested matchups are crafted with hidden agendas, beyond pure competition. The revelation sent shockwaves, forcing fans to question the integrity of future blockbuster events and their true motivations. Silence was deafening.
It depends you fight with who. If you're gonna fight with Cowboy Cerrone, you're gonna look good. You're gonna be like lion. But if you're gonna fight like guys who on the top, who really best in the world, like Dustin Poirier, like this fight gonna show your level. Okay, fight with Cowboy or like these fights, be lion and that's it, make money. This is smart. But if you want to become champion, if you want to fight like Beneil, Islam, Charles, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, these guys lions, These guys gonna show your level. And
shadowy deals weren't the only controversies. Khabib Nurmagomedov delivered a devastating blow to McGregor's comeback narrative, arguing Conor's damage, particularly to his legs, is irreversible. Prime only comes once, Khabib stated, dismissing recovery of lost hunger or past glory. He tied this directly to the White House card, framing it not as spectacle but a grim test, a stark judgment on whether McGregor's peak is truly behind him, or if he can still hang with the elite. It was a brutal assessment from the man who knows McGregor's limits. Can you truly come back from that physical and mental wear?
What's next, Mauricio?
O que é o próximo? O que é o que vem agora para você?
Eu pedi Paddy Pimblett na Casa Branca, talvez Conor McGregor tá querendo lutar também. Eu vi na internet rumores que ele acha melhor lutar contra mim, que sou um bom striker e que vai dar show pra galera, do que contra o Michael Chandler, que vem só de derrotas. E eu tô aqui, eu sou trabalhador do UFC, o que o UFC colocar, eu tô pronto.
Yeah, I work for UFC, but of course I want to fight on White House, maybe with Paddy Pimblett or maybe Conor. I saw something about Conor saying that it's good to fight with me than Michael Chandler. So yeah, but I'm a UFC, so whatever the guys want to do.
Yet, McGregor offered a starkly contrasting vision, challenging Khabib's grim prophecy. Ahead of the White House card, he painted his return not just as a fight, but a profound spiritual mission. "I'm saved, I am healed," McGregor declared. He asserted that introspection and faith had not just reignited his competitive spark, but transformed it into a rolling blaze. He spoke of returning sharper, more focused, relentless. A new version, ready to prove his rightful place on the biggest stages. It was a dramatic claim, suggesting his fire was stronger, fueled by a deep personal journey. Could spiritual awakening truly negate physical decline?
Conor is like still, even though he might not be the best fighter in the world right now, he's still he's the golden goose.
Of course he is.
Yeah,
That's something that you can't take away
kind of
from him.
amazing.
Beneath the drama, a quiet battle simmered with the UFC. Despite insider info confirming McGregor is not going to 55, the promotion stubbornly pushes for a lightweight fight. It's a baffling disconnect. One of the sport's biggest stars states his intentions, yet the organization seems determined to ignore them. This internal struggle highlights the complex dance between fighter autonomy and promotional strategy, leaving fans wondering what truly drives these decisions. Is the UFC clinging to old visions or underestimating McGregor's resolve? This pushback reveals deeper tensions.
He still guarantees that many eyeballs will go to see him. You know, it just
That would be a great one. But what excites me more is the fight with Patty.
really.
Yeah, that fight excites me even more. And if they could put that fight in Spain.
Beyond weight class drama, a tactical vulnerability looms for McGregor. While celebrated for his dynamic stance, great for movement, analysts like DC broke down its critical flaw. McGregor's heavy weight on his right leg and wide stance, while powerful, make him exceptionally susceptible to the now prominent low calf kick. This weakness emerged during his time away, exploring boxing. It's a weapon never truly tested in his past fights, but now, a dangerous chink in the armor of a returning savage. Could this unaddressed weakness be his undoing?
I feel like there's a couple guys who kind of changed the game. One of them was Chael Sonnen, and another one is Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And part of the way they changed the game was talking mad shit and getting a lot of people to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
And
Which, cool, you know? Like, it got them a lot of attention. It got them a lot of money. But, like, and if that's what makes them happy, cool. You know?
I
Like,
think
Despite perceived vulnerabilities or time away, Joe Rogan articulated McGregor's undiminished appeal. He remains the golden goose. Rogan emphasized that McGregor's value and gravitational pull haven't waned, regardless of his current fighter status or skill ranking. He continues to command more attention than anyone else, consistently guaranteeing millions of viewers. In an era where stars rise and fall quickly, McGregor's enduring power is uncommon, cementing his essential role in White House discussion. His mere presence promises spectacle, transcending wins and losses.
Is what history show us. When you take like this damage, you're never gonna be same. Never, ever. Okay, if we talk about Conor, okay, like last couple of years he's not hungry. And now what happened with his legs, like never ever. Never people come back and never gonna be people on the same prime twice. Prime come only one time. You're gonna be on prime.
Rogan further elaborated on McGregor's historical impact, crediting him, alongside Chael Sonnen, with fundamentally rewiring the business itself. The blueprint wasn't merely fighting talent, it was a masterful strategy built on noise, personality, and saying outrageous things loudly enough that people couldn't look away. This calculated approach transformed attention into unparalleled leverage, and leverage into immense wealth. Whether loved or hated, McGregor perfected this strategy, turning what some dismissed as trash talk into a sophisticated business decision. It changed the game forever, forcing everyone to rethink the path to toe stardom.
You're gonna go down. It depends you fight with who. If you're gonna fight with Cowboy Cerrone, you're gonna look good. You're gonna be like lion. But if you're gonna fight like guys who on the top, who really best in the world, like Dustin Poirier, like this fight gonna show your level. You know, okay, fight with Cowboy or like these fights, be lion and that's it, make money. This is smart. But if you want to become champion, if you want to fight like Benil, Islam, Charles, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, these guys lions, you know. These guys gonna show your level.
Amid swirling speculation, rising contender Mauricio Ruffy stepped directly into McGregor's shadow, unfazed. Ruffy leaned into the commotion, presenting himself as a prime candidate for the White House card. McGregor was rumored to want a striker who causes trouble, and Ruffy declared himself exactly that, available without demands, ready to take center stage. He saw internet rumors, heard talk about McGregor preferring him, and declared himself the UFC's worker, prepared to fight whoever. This bold, no-nonsense call-out showed a hunger that could challenge McGregor's own.
God that dictates my journey and all of our journeys, and I live my life by God's word. And since around that time that you mentioned at the last event, I've engaged on a spiritual journey, and I'm saved, I am healed, and you know, on the back of that, the world is in for a treat. The world is in for a treat. My competitive spark that was once in my heart is now a roaring blaze. So I'm very excited. You know, I envy these men up here on this dais. They're right about to make weight, and they're to go in and enjoy and entertain and do what they were called to do, as am I called to do it. And you know, I'm eager to get back. And right now I had to dial myself in and go inward. And that I done. And I'm very, very excited to come back my own self.
Not just hungry contenders, even champions are doing the math when McGregor's name is mentioned. Ilia Topuria was brutally honest. There's no reason to decline a fight offer from McGregor. For Topuria, the motivation is purely scale, not competition. A bout with Conor means making history, spotlight, and numbers that reshape a career. He made it clear he's prepared to take that call, highlighting the undeniable financial and legacy-defining allure McGregor still possesses. It's a stark reminder that in this high-stakes arena, some fights transcend the sport itself, becoming economic and historical milestones.
Right? Okay, a special treat in the White House and a special treat in Conor McGregor, which is almost a gift, right? Bread Panty Night is real. That's a gift for somebody. We'll gift this to Justin Gaethje on his way out the door, and he won't mind fighting in a different weight class because he's leaving anyway. He's not coming up the ranks. This is all part of the thought process as to why it's going to be Conor versus Justin Gaethje, but that is also believed that Justin Gaethje was going to lose. Now, you can't say that. When you go in and you start talking about these deals, there's never say, hey, you're going to lose to Patty. So when you lose to Patty, we're going to bump you up a weight class that won't matter as you're on your way out anyway. Like, you can't say those things. So when he goes in and gets the win, it's very hard to unwind that and go, okay, it's no longer McGregor and Gaethje. They're both going to go. Why? Right? Imagine McGregor. Imagine McGregor that already said yes to Gaethje. He's saying the same thing.
Adding to the cacophony of callouts, Michael Chandler confidently reiterated his desire to face McGregor on the White House stage. He pointed to McGregor's own social media posts, interviews, and highlight reels as undeniable proof the feeling is mutual. Acknowledging MMA's inherent unpredictability, Chandler stated both fighters are aligned and conversations are progressing behind the scenes. He declared himself laser-focused on training, ready to make the red, white, and blue dream a reality the moment the UFC gives the green light. The mutual interest is palpable, building immense anticipation for this clash.
Because we've seen on the internet, you versus McGregor.
You never know, right? Shit, give them what they want, not what they expect. I can say some big news, and I can't deny or confirm what you just said.
Even Chael Sonnen was talking about it. And as I say, when you look at Jorge Masvidal and the career that he's had, and then you remember Jorge Masvidal has been a massive supporter of Donald Trump. I think he's spoken publicly at rallies for Donald Trump as well. So he's certainly in the good graces of the Trump family, right? And they're the kind of people that they're going to want at the White House. Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal. That'll be a sensational matchup. Michael Chandler, of course, losing to Paddy Pimblett the way that he did. And then, of course, when you look at the majority of fights that he's lost, okay, it doesn't really put him in too good of a standing, okay? And, of course, he's 155. Yeah, he'd come up to 170 to fight McGregor, but he's not a natural 170. And Jorge Masvidal has fought at 155, but also finished his career at 170. He did fight for the belt. He did have the fastest knockout in history. He absolutely destroyed Nate Diaz when he became the first BMF. I mean, If you go back to 2019, that was the coming out.
Michael Bisping weighed in with a compelling case for Jorge Masvidal as a sensational opponent for McGregor. He emphasized Masvidal's deep ties to Donald Trump, including public rallies and a strong political connection, making him an ideal fit for the White House setting. Bisping contrasted this with Michael Chandler, whose recent losses in natural weight class make him less compelling. Masvidal's unique blend of political alignment and legitimate combat credentials, fastest knockout in UFC history, and BMF champion status, positions him as a credible, electrifying alternative, promising both spectacle and substance on such a unique stage.
Modern young generation of fighters are going to know you for the way you commentate, the way you call plays, the way you are so analytical about fighters. You're amazing at what you do at bringing the whole story to life, and I think it's like one piece of the puzzle that has to be there. Like, we need John Anik, you know, and we've seen you do some other things with the Canelo fight, which was amazing, by the way, which I want to talk about. How much of this chemistry is built off the camera versus on the camera? I'll start with you.
However, John Anik offered a dissenting view on the Chandler matchup, acknowledging its patriotic appeal but questioning its overall significance. While attention-grabbing, Anik suggested such a fight doesn't carry much weight in the lightweight division and might even occur at a catchweight, diluting its competitive value. For him, the true intrigue and meaningful stakes would arise from clashes with fighters like Nate Diaz or Mauricio Ruffy, matchups that would genuinely test McGregor's skills inside the octagon. Anik's perspective added critical analysis, reminding fans that not all high-profile fights deliver equally on competitive integrity.
You know, it's no secret. Obviously, I want to fight Conor, and I think it's no secret by the things that he's posting, the interviews that he's doing, the number of times he said my name, posted a video of me and him and our highlights and all that kind of stuff a week or so ago. He wants to fight me. I want to fight him. He wants to fight at the White House. I want nothing more than to be wearing the red, white, and blue stars and bars, walking onto the White House lawn and fighting at the White House. You know how hard it is to put percentages on anything in mixed martial arts. It's such a crazy sport, and that's why we love it. But one thing is for sure, Conor wants to fight me at the White House. I want to fight him at the White House. And conversations are being had. I think things are moving in that direction, but we're never going to know when this thing's going to be announced. So we will see. All I know is I'm going to start training here very soon, like laser focused on June, whatever it is. And they're going to keep holding the cards close to their chest, as they always do, trying to keep things a secret. And we'll see how.
The Khabib skepticism wasn't just about past injuries. It was a direct challenge regarding McGregor's competitive ambition. He argued that fighting someone like Cowboy Cerrone might make McGregor look good and sell tickets, portraying him as a lion. But Khabib insisted, if McGregor truly wants to become champion, he must face the elite: Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev, Charles Oliveira, or Justin Gaethje. These are the guys who show your level, exposing true championship caliber versus mere spectacle. For Khabib, the White House card shouldn't just be about money, it's a test of hunger for the sport's highest echelons. Joe Rogan, however, provided another perspective on McGregor's enduring competitive edge, describing him as a pure savage who eats pressure. He recalled McGregor's uncanny calm in the eye of the storm, specifically during the Jose Aldo fight, where he appeared genuinely unfazed. Dana White himself noted McGregor likes it. He wants it to be chaos. This innate ability to thrive under immense pressure and embrace disorder, rather than shy away, explains much of his past success. It suggests a mental fortitude that transcends physical setbacks, perhaps the truest measure of the man still capable of surprising everyone. With McGregor clearly indicating a reluctance for 155, the UFC grapples with many options. While Chandler remains prominent, the promotion knows fans were promised a certain fight and have been pretty damn patient. This suggests broad consideration of matchups satisfying both commercial appeal and fan expectation. Beyond a single opponent, call-outs are piling up, competitors circling, and experts divided, all pointing to a dynamic landscape of potential clashes. The UFC needs a path that not only makes sense for McGregor's return, but also delivers on the fans' long-held anticipation. McGregor's current status is a direct result of his past decisions to step away. During the rise of the calf kick, a technique exploiting his stylistic weaknesses, McGregor was moving away from MMA, taking significant time off, exploring boxing. This strategic shift created a gap in his competitive rhythm and exposure to evolving MMA techniques. His subsequent return, featuring fights against Khabib and Cowboy, never truly brought the calf kick into play, leaving this vulnerability untested. His history now dictates his present challenges, an unaddressed flaw waiting to be exposed. As the White House card draws nearer, McGregor's name echoes constantly throughout the sport. Callouts are relentless, with competitors circling like sharks, eager for the career-defining opportunity. Even seasoned experts remain deeply divided on what this historic event will ultimately become, or who McGregor should face. The only consensus: McGregor will undoubtedly be at the epicenter if the lights are on. Everything else remains a maelstrom of opportunity, rampant speculation, and impending chaos, all waiting to clash under the intense glare of the world's media. The stage is set, the drama building. Chael Sonnen further complicated discussion around McGregor's return, specifically regarding any direct path to a title fight. He argued that immediately moving McGregor to 55 pounds and granting him a championship shot would fundamentally raise questions about what a belt really means, potentially making the entire situation messy. As a pragmatic workaround, Sonnen suggested a compelling alternative, a clash with the loser of Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. This matchup, he believed, could still generate immense intrigue and make logical sense within the competitive landscape, creating buzz without devaluing the belt. It's a strategic compromise for a unique situation. Intriguingly, Joe Rogan voiced strong excitement for one specific, perhaps unexpected matchup: McGregor versus Paddy Pimblett. Rogan even suggested the ultimate scenario for this clash, imagining it taking place in Spain. This preference hints at the entertainment value Rogan sees in a fight that combines McGregor's superstar power with Pimblett's rising popularity and unique persona. It suggests that for some, the most compelling fights aren't always about title implications or traditional rankings, but about the sheer spectacle and crossover appeal that a truly charismatic pairing can generate. Could this be the true dream fight? Jorge Masvidal's resume speaks volumes about his suitability for a McGregor mega fight. He didn't just fight for the belt, he delivered the fastest knockout in UFC history and became the inaugural BMF champion, a title born from pure spectacle and fan demand. Having fought at 155 pounds earlier in his career before finishing at 170, Masvidal brings a compelling blend of weight class experience and undeniable highlights. His 2019 coming out year was a legendary run of finishes and viral moments, establishing him as a fighter who could undeniably deliver both credibility and fireworks against McGregor on such a monumental stage. In contrast to Masvidal's strong credentials, Michael Chandler's recent record raises concerns for a McGregor pairing. According to Bisping, his loss to Paddy Pimblett, the way that he did, and a history of other losses don't position him in a too good of a standing. Furthermore, Chandler is a natural 55-pound fighter, meaning he would have to move up to 170 to face McGregor, making him less of a natural fit. These factors, Bisping argued, collectively make Chandler a less compelling option compared to other potential opponents who offer more in terms of relevant weight class, recent performance, and compelling narrative. Ultimately, the White House card transcends mere fight promotion. It's about crafting a narrative that resonates deeply within and beyond the cage. Chael Sonnen emphasized it's not just about creating buzz, but about finding a fight that makes sense for both the competitive aspect and the overarching story. Similarly, McGregor himself views it as the proving ground for his new relentless version. This event is a complex tapestry of political theater, athletic ambition, and strategic matchmaking, designed to reveal whether McGregor remains a legitimate contender or merely a headline act, a true test of his enduring legacy. So, as the White House card looms, McGregor's gravitational pull remains undeniable, a magnet for contenders, champions, and controversies alike. Khabib sees decline, McGregor preaches rebirth, while experts dissect vulnerabilities and promoters weigh political allegiances against competitive integrity. The ultimate question isn't just who McGregor fights, but what that fight will truly reveal, a testament to his unbreakable spirit, a confirmation of past glory faded, or perhaps a cunningly orchestrated spectacle designed to extend the myth of the golden goose regardless of the outcome. The world watches, waiting for the final act in this extraordinary saga.